to take a picture on an iPhone, which
photo booth?
I assume is most of you in this room, you are all eligible to come volunteer for the photo booth on Sunday. It will be after both services, one at 8:30, one at 10. So after both of those, we will have people manning photo booths. If you're down, talk to your leader or talk to me or talk to Cam and we'll get you set up. What else do we have on the list here?
Photo booth, photo booth. Do it. What else do we have on the list?
What else do we have? We have summer camp. Yes, summer camp.
I'm on the wrong week.
Summer camp signups are open. Guys, the deadline to sign up is May 1st. Today is April 1st. Kevin has already signed up and he's pumped about it.
That's crazy. One more month to sign up, yo.
Yeah, one more month from today to sign up. Spots are filling up like more and more every day.
True.
So if you haven't signed up yet, sign up ASAP if you want to secure a spot for summer camp. That goes for both junior high and high school. You can find them lifepoint.org/events or text summer camp to 94000. All right, Cam, what do you got?
Is it the last one that I told you about?
It's the last one that you told me about.
Hey, bear with me. This is the last announcement. Listen up. This is important. This is... Oh, that's fair. That is a distracting photo. Can we... Thank you. Last announcement. This is important. This is a reminder that Fancy Feast is only for sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Okay? If you are a sibling of one of them, you can come with them if it's a week that they go.
Nepotism at its finest.
But it's only for sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And to remind you, once the current sophomores move up into junior position, the current freshmen will not be going to Fancy Feast as sophomores. We are only doing sophomores, juniors, and seniors for the next couple months. Once the grade transition happens, it's just upperclassmen from then on. Sound good? That being said,
Sam, could you just tell us all what Fancy Feast is
fair.
in case we don't know?
That is,
it's not the cat food.
That is fair. Fancy Feast is every week after Thursday night, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and me and a couple leaders, we go to a restaurant in town and hang out for anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour, hour and a half, depending on how late everyone can stay. So if you're in this room right now and you're a sophomore, junior, and senior, and you want to come to Fancy Feast tonight, come hang out with us. For everybody, this is important. Everyone that is going tonight, we are changing location because of the whole Denny's thing that I told you guys about. So we're going to be at Chipotle and Domino's Pizza. They're right next to each other on Franklin and Elk Grove Boulevard. So it's a little bit more of a drive from here, but they have like an outdoor seating area. They have Domino's, so if you don't want to spend as much money, maybe you could split a pizza with a couple of your friends, stuff like that. So Elk Grove Boulevard in Franklin, Chipotle/Domino's Pizza, Fancy Feast tonight. We're going to try it out, see how it goes. That's all she wrote.
Thank you, Cam.
Or he wrote.
Thank you, Cam.
You're welcome.
All right. We're going to play a game right now. This game is called Lamentations or Taylor Swift Lyric. Okay? Here's how this works.
Am I done up here?
Some of you may have played this game before. I'm going to put a quote on the screen. It is either a verse out of the book of the Bible, Lamentations, or it is a lyric of a Taylor Swift song. I'm betting this might be more difficult than you imagine because I consider myself a Swiftie. I consider myself one who knows every word to every song, and this was difficult for me. Okay, so maybe I'm just not that hardcore. However, here's how it's going to work. Everybody needs to stand up. Everybody needs to stand up. This game will involve elimination because I am a big fan of games that have winners. Straight up. So here's how it works. This side of the room is Taylor Swift Lyric. This side of the room is Lamentations. When the quote goes up, you will go to either side of the room. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. If you're wrong, you've got to go back and take a seat. Capiche? Wow, I've never gotten a response like that before. No. Once you're wrong, you're done. Once you're wrong, you're done. We'll see. If it comes down to one or two winners, maybe there'll be a prize. But if like 50 of you win, I can't bring a prize from 50 people. So, Aaron, I have the clicker, so I should be good to move it about. So let's see how we do. All right, here we go. First one. Let's see. Do I have to point? There it is. She cries herself to sleep at night, tears soaking in her pillow. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. Taylor Swift, Lamentations, you got 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. Pick a side, we got 3 seconds to pick a side. Here it is, let's see how we did. Lamentations! All of you are out. It was Lamentations. We got some hardcore Swifties over here. We do. Take a seat if you were wrong. That was fast. That was so fast. All right. Here we go. Lucas, could you turn me up just a tiny bit for my own sake? Okay. Here it is, the next one. Ready? Your knives and swords and weapons that you use against me. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. All right, it looks like we're set. Hit the slide. That's Taylor Swift from the song Mean. Come on now. Sing it if you know it. Just sing this line. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Just the line that's on the screen. Something like that, right? Okay, next one. My eyes are blind with tears. My stomach is in a knot. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. Nehemiah making a run for it. This is Taylor Swift, Lamentations. 5, 4, that's it. Your side is set. Your side is set. What is it? Lamentations. Well done. Good luck, boys. Good luck. All right, what's our next one? You're like a lion ready to pounce. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. From this point on, no more collaborating. Make your own decision for yourself. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. Line has been drawn in the sand. What do we got, Aaron? Lamentations. Goodbye, Swifties. And it was down to 5. What's next? This yearning in the deep part of my heart for you. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. All right, let's eliminate all of them. Throw it up on the screen. I'm just kidding. They got it right. Well done. Oh, wait. You actually all got it wrong. Everybody's out. Go take a seat. Wow. I fooled myself. Okay. Aaron, what slide number was that?
11. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was halfway. So everybody back up. You're back in. All right, here we go. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. Roll the next slide. I'll never forget the trouble, the poison I've swallowed. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your sides are set. Your sides are set. What is it? It's Lamentations. All of you Taylor Swifties that thought you were Taylor Swifties. Better luck next time. Take a seat, take a seat. Roll the next one. But there's one thing I remember. There's one thing I remember so I can keep a grip on hope. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. One thing I remember so I can keep a grip on hope. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. A lot of confident Old Testament scholars out here tonight. What is it? Yeah, it's Lamentations. Goodbye, T-Swizzle people. What's next? Was that the last one? Okay, what's next? I'm aching, no past, nowhere to hide. Taylor Swift, Lamentations.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, Lamentations. All right, let's reveal. Taylor Swift, goodbye, all of you. Even if it was, are you a real Taylor Swift fan if you don't know the deluxe songs? I mean, come on. But it wasn't, I don't think it's deluxe. But what's next? All we are is Skin and Bone. Taylor Swift, Lamentations. Ben, take a side. Okay, I haven't seen that in years. Here we go. Taylor Swift. Lamentations people are out. There's only a few left. Only a few left. What's next? Do we have anything else? It is good for a man to bear the yoke while he is young. Taylor Swift or Lamentations. Stop bullying people. What is it? Yeah, Lamentations, well done. Do we have any others or was that the last one? That was it? All right, hey, give a round of applause to yourselves. Well done. There was several other people still in. Clearly. All right. Well done, guys. Well done. So, hey, now's your chance. Grab a drink of water, use the restroom. Worship team, come on up. We're going to get some worship on in just a minute. Grab a drink of water, use the restroom, 2 minutes.
But it's not on the menu anywhere else. I got it
Alrighty, guys, who's ready to worship? I'm going to pray before we get started. Jesus, thank you for bringing every single person here tonight. God, I pray that we just remember who we're singing to and just how awesome you are, God. Thank you for just your greatness. Thank you that you died on the cross for every single one of us in this room, that you love us so much that you would send your son to die in our place, God. We really don't deserve it, so I just give you all the praise. In Jesus' name, amen. All I see is the battle. You see my victory. When all I see is a mountain, you see a mountain. As I walk through the shadows, your love surrounds me. There's nothing to fear, for I am safe. So when I fight, I'll fight on my knees, with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And every fear I lay at your feet, I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And if you are for me, who can be against me? For Jesus, there's nothing impossible. When I see all the ashes, you see the beauty. When all I see is the cross, you see the end. So when I fight on my knees, with my hands in my heart, oh God, the battle belongs to you. Every fear I lay at your feet, I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. Not my words. You go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadows. You win every battle. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. And now my voice. You go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadows. You win every battle. away at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I wasn't lonely. Now you call me and said it's in bed. When I was broken, you were my healing. And your love is the air that I'm breathing. All of you spent my eyes are open. When you hold my hand, I ran out of breath. Out of the darkness, into your glorious light. You hold my hand, and I ran out of breath. Out of the darkness, into your glorious light. Jesus, I just thank you so much for who you are, God. Thank you that you saw that we needed rescue, God. Thank you for calling our names and calling us out of that grave, God, that we don't have to live in sin, we don't have to live in fear, we don't have to live in our death, God. Thank you for everything that you've done for us. I pray that we just think about that and just how glorious you are and how much you done for us, God. I pray as we go into the message that we are able to focus on you and the things that you're trying to speak to us, God. In your holy and awesome name, I pray.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Jacob, for wiping off my shoes as well. Well, it's kind of cool. We've been in the Gospel of John for forever, it feels like. It will, when we finish the Gospel of John, which is only a couple of weeks away, when we finish the Gospel of John, we will have been in the Gospel of John for like a year. For a year, going through the Gospel of John, which is pretty awesome. You guys have been troopers. It's been really cool to walk through the book with you guys. But what's really cool is that it's Easter weekend this weekend, and we're like at that same point in John, unintentionally planned that we're watching Jesus' road to the cross at the same time that we got Easter this weekend. So it was a couple weeks ago, I think Pastor Chris even taught on the same message or the same passage that we had looked at TNS, and it's just been really cool to walk through it on Thursdays and on Sundays as a church family. So I found that to be pretty cool. But tonight we're going to be in John 18, verses 28 to 40. John 18, verses 28 to 40. So if you have a Bible, pull it out, follow along. If you don't have a Bible, you should all have a phone. You can find it on there too. If you don't have a phone or a Bible, you can raise your hand and one of our leaders would be happy to run up to the foundry and grab you a Bible. I just volunteered them all. But hands up if you don't have a phone or a Bible. Anybody? I think we're good. Okay, I think we're good. John 18, verses 28 to 40. Follow along with me as I read them for us. It says, then the Jewish leaders took Jesus from Caiaphas to the place of the Roman governor. By now it was early morning, and to avoid ceremonial uncleanness, they did not enter the palace because they wanted to be able to eat the Passover. So Pilate came out to them and asked, what charges are you bringing against this man? If he were not a criminal, they replied, we would not have handed him over to you. Pilate said, take him yourselves and judge him by your own law. But we have no right to execute anyone, they objected. This took place to fulfill what Jesus had said about the kind of death that he was going to die. And Pilate then went back inside the palace, summoned Jesus and asked him, are you the king of the Jews? Is that your own idea? Jesus asked, or did others talk to you about me? Am I a Jew? Pilate replied. Your own people and chief priests handed you over to me. What is it you have done? And Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would fight to prevent my arrest by the Jewish leaders. But now my kingdom is from another place. So you are a king then, said Pilate. Jesus answered, you say that I am a king. In fact, the reason I was born and came into the world is to testify to the truth. Everyone on the other side of truth listens to me. All right, everyone on the side of truth, listens to me. What is truth? Retorted Pilate. With this, he went out again to find the Jews gathered there and said, I find no basis for a charge against him.
But it is your custom.
Custom for me. I'm going to switch.
It is your custom for
Me, I lost it. There it is. To release to you one prisoner at the time of the Passover. Do you want me to release the King of the Jews? They shouted back, no, not him. Give us Barabbas. Now, Barabbas had taken part in an uprising. That's our passage for tonight. And we're going to look again next week. After Easter, we'll look more about Jesus' crucifixion and whatnot. But when I was in high school, I was in mock trial. Raise your hand if you know what mock trial is. Oh, good. Okay, a lot. Yeah, Jacob said sadly. Okay, so mock trials, basically you compete against other schools in some made-up criminal case. You've got attorneys and witnesses. It was actually a lot of fun for me. But when I was in high school, I was nowhere near put together enough to be an attorney. I started out as an attorney, but was quickly moved to be an unimportant, negligible witness. But even that apparently was too much responsibility for me. So they moved me to become the bailiff. As the bailiff, I have to recite 2 lines in the beginning and then sit quiet for 3 hours while everybody else does the trial. It was mind-numbingly boring. But what I found to be the messed up thing about mock trial is that, and maybe this is just my opinion, they never tell you what actually happened, whether the person's guilty or not, anything that happened. I know it's made up. I get it. I know it's mock trial. But I think their point was that, well, it's up to the prosecution or the defense to decide what happened, right? Make your case. But it always really bothered me. Well, just tell me if the guy's guilty or not. I'll still defend him, but I want to know, right? But it ultimately came down to which pieces of evidence are you going to exploit to prove your point, right? Either side is going to exploit different pieces of evidence. I quickly saw how everybody not actually considered with the ethics of the right or wrong or what was actually happening, as much as they just wanted to exploit whatever they could to have their side win and whatever they could do to avoid losing. I know it's mock trial. Some of your experiences might have been different than mine. I'm clearly still a bit jaded on the whole thing, but I see that same type of thing happening in our passage tonight with those who are persecuting and judging Jesus in our passage. All right, Jesus is brought before religious leaders and political leaders, both in court and in private, and they judge him every time according to their own standards. Right? So if it's a political leader, they're going to judge him on what they think is best for the nation, what they think is best for themselves. Right? If it's a religious leader, they oftentimes judge him or persecute him over what is a threat to their position or what is a threat to their power. And this idea of judging people right or striving after justice, I think that's innate in all of us. So this idea of wanting justice to be done, wanting the right thing to happen, wanting justice to be served, that's innately human. That's in all of us because we've been made in the image of God. We're made in the image of God. God is righteousness. God is justice. And so we have that same desire in our own hearts to see justice done. For me, it's the same reason I used to get upset when my sibling wouldn't be punished like they should have been. Or, I think somebody just said amen. When your sibling's not punished like they should have been, or they get away with something, right? Or something that you thought somebody deserved isn't done, right? Whether it be a teammate, a classmate, a sibling, that always really bothered me. And I feel like that's just a glimmer of this idea of we have in our character and implanted into us this longing for justice and this longing for things to be made right because we were created in the image of God, and our Creator is righteousness and justice, and He is the true judge, and He's going to bring righteousness when He comes again, right? But we're still all sinful, right? So none of us portray this aspect of God perfectly. In fact, most of us don't. We often take attributes of God that are in us because we've been made in His image, and then we use them in sinful ways. Things like anger, right? Justice, jealousy. Those are attributes of God. I know that makes us uncomfortable sometimes. But we, as humans, oftentimes use those things in sinful ways. But those are really some amazing attributes of God when we look at it in the right way. But what's interesting is to see in this story, these leaders and political and religious leaders using this justice side in a sinful way. He's done nothing wrong. See this in your passage. Your translation might say something slightly different. Mine, Pilate literally says, I have found no charge to bring against him. Right? But these leaders are desiring justice, but the problem is that they're not recognizing that they're the ones who have actually caused the injustice. Jesus hasn't done anything wrong. Right? And the religious leaders couldn't tell Pilate, right, what it was that Jesus had done wrong. When he asked, well, what has this man done? They say, well, if he wasn't a threat, would we have given him to you? Right? It's a non-answer. They're just throwing it back because they have nothing. Right? And instead of recognizing their own sin and their own injustice, they want to put Jesus to death because they thought, oh, that'll return things back to normal for us. Right? That'll give us back our power and position. The people will follow us again. But Jesus truly had done nothing wrong. Right? There's difficulty finding a charge to bring against him. And yet they still long to put him to death. They still long to put him to death. Like I said already, they're creating this injustice by crucifying an innocent man. And what's so cool about God is that we know, right, God uses what man intends for evil for good. God works all things together for the good of those who love him. Right? So even the crucifixion of his son, ultimately a part of his plan, but the crucifixion of his son, God is going to use it, that great injustice, as the only way for justice to truly be done. It's mind-blowing, right? Through what man intended to be justice or injustice, God does away with all the injustice for those who believe in him. Because Jesus, when he's crucified, he's taken the place of those who have testified against him. He's taken the place of everyone who's done an injustice against Jesus. If you're wondering who that is, it's everybody in this room, to be blunt. Jesus has taken your place on the cross. Jesus took their place on the cross. And the Bible teaches us over and over again, right? The wages of sin is death. And that's why we can confidently say, as sinners, that we have deserved this death, right? That Jesus took our cross. It would have been just for us to die that death, right, that we deserve. But Jesus comes in and says, you know what, I'll sacrifice myself for them. I'll fulfill God's justice for them. I'll become that sacrifice, that lamb. I think an immediate example we see in our passage of this is Barabbas. Jesus literally takes the place of the guilty, right? The crowds want, they have an option to release either Jesus, an innocent man, or Barabbas, and they choose Barabbas, right? And so Jesus, the innocent man, literally swaps places with Barabbas. I mean, if you think about it, the cross that Jesus died on would have been prepared for Barabbas to die. The cross that Jesus died on, a physical piece of wood, was actually prepared for Barabbas. And Jesus switches places with him and dies on the cross that was meant for Barabbas. The thing is, it wasn't meant just for him. It was meant for all of us. For thieves and liars, robbers, murderers, bullies, people like you and me. Right? That's who that cross was meant for. Jesus switches places with us so that one day we can stand in front of God and God will say that we've been sinful, right? That we deserve death. And Jesus can stand in front of us and say, hold on. I've taken that punishment. They're with me. I've taken that punishment. They're with me. They can stand in my righteousness because of what Jesus has done, taking our sin and giving us his righteousness. Because you see, one day Jesus, God, they're going to judge all of mankind. And I know this is the topic, one of the topics that makes us uncomfortable, right? The justice of God or the anger of God or the wrath of God, those things make us uncomfortable. But in reality, if you look at it right, it can make you excited. Because every wrong is going to be righted. Evil is going to be done away with. Right? Satan's going to be defeated. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible. Because Jesus is the one true judge, right? He's the perfect judge. He judges by righteousness because he is righteousness. When these earthly judges and leaders, they judge according to their own standards, we say that's sinful and it's wrong and they're off and it's not ending well. But when Jesus judges according to himself, We worship and we praise him because he is righteousness. It means everything's going to be brought back to how it should be. And the way that Jesus judges, it might surprise you. It might make you uncomfortable. But we know, we can look in the Bible and we know that he's judging according to righteousness, perfect righteousness. And so we can try to adapt ourselves more to Jesus' will in these areas that make us uncomfortable. But part of what I think makes judgment uncomfortable, or a scary term, is at least for me, it's the realization of what I deserve come judgment day that makes me uncomfortable. It makes me scared. It makes me nervous because I realize all the areas in which I've fallen short, all the ways in which I've messed up, and how in God's judgment, Romans tells us all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. And that's a hard reality, right? Especially when it applies to us, when it applies to those close to us that we love. However, the beauty of the judgment, the thing that gets us excited, is that God is going to look on Jesus' righteousness for the sake of those who believe. 2 Corinthians 5:21 says, "For our sake, he made him to be sin who knew no sin, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God." Right? So Jesus, who knew no sin, became sin, right? So that through faith in him, we might have his righteousness when we stand in front of the Father. There's a hymn called Rock of Ages. Raise your hand if you know the song Rock of Ages. Not as many hands as I was expecting. That's okay. It's okay. I love hymns, so I understand. It's okay. It says this. So let me read the lyrics to you. It says, "Rock of Ages, cleft for me, let me hide myself in thee." A cleft is a hole or like an opening in a rock. Right? In other words, so this song is referring to Jesus as our Rock of Ages and saying that we get to hide in Jesus, right? Rock of Ages, cleft for me, right? There's a hole, there's an opening, there's a safe place in Jesus for me that I get to hide in, right? Let me hide myself in thee. It goes on to say, "Let the water and the blood from thy wounded side which flowed be of sin the double cure, save from wrath and make me pure." So the water and the blood, right? Let the water and the blood from your wounded side which flowed, right? So when they stab Jesus in the side and water and the blood pours out, this says, let the water and the blood, right, cure us in two ways. As it says, it's old language, but it says, be of sin the double cure. So let the water and your blood cure us in two ways. Two ways. The first is that it saves us from wrath, right? Save from wrath. Keep us hidden in Jesus and God's judgment, right? Keep us hidden in Christ. And make me pure. Wash us white as snow. Remove the sin from us as far as the east is from the west. So it says again, Rock of Ages, cleft for me. Let me hide myself in thee. Let the water and the blood from thy wounded side which flowed be of sin the double cure, save from wrath and make me pure. I know that we don't sing a lot of hymns anymore, but lyrics like that are so powerful. They're so hard to get past. So I encourage you, look them up again when you get home. Read them through. Meditate on them. I think it's just such an amazing way to illustrate that point, right? That Jesus' death, it not only saves us from God's wrath, it not only allows us to stand in Jesus' righteousness before God, but it also makes us pure. It also washes us white as snow. It makes us new creations. It gives us new hope. It gives us living hope. It's amazing. And so as we go out through this Easter weekend, I hope you guys will take time to remember that Jesus has taken your place on that cross and that he did it because of his love for you. He did it because he longs to offer you forgiveness. He longs to offer you a way out of your sin. He longs to offer you new life and longs to offer you life eternal in eternity with God. So I hope you guys will think about that as we go through this Easter weekend. I know Easter can be jam-packed with a bunch of other things, whatever it might be, right? But I would encourage you guys to take time to think about that as we go throughout Easter. All right, let's pray. God, we thank you so much for what your son did for us on the cross. Lord, we just ask that we would not take it lightly. God, we just ask that we would be able to understand what the weight of your son's death, Lord, the weight of resurrection, the power that it gives us, the new life that it brings us. And I just pray that be something that we don't take lightly this weekend, God, but that we would genuinely even wonder who we might want to share that good news with, God, this weekend as we go throughout Good Friday tomorrow and Easter on Sunday. Lord, I pray that you would just, you would reign in our priorities this weekend, that we wouldn't be concerned with whatever other festivities are happening, Lord, but that we would be focused on you, focused on growing closer to you, focused on reflecting on your sacrifice and the work that you've done for us. Now, it's in your powerful and loving name that we pray. Amen. Why don't you guys stand as we sing one more song?
Soften my heart and break me apart. I need you to open my eyes to see that you're shaping my life. All I am, I surrender. Trust what you say, that you're good and your love is great. I'm walking inside and I give you my life. I need you. Soften my heart and break me apart. I need you to pierce through the dark and cleanse every part of me. I am, I surrender. Trust what you say, that you're good and your love just thank you so much once again, just for everybody here, God. I pray as we go into our small groups, that we'll be able to think about just what Noah was saying about Jesus. It really wasn't, he did nothing wrong, God. He was completely blameless, and yet he still was sent to die for us in our place, God. Just really let us reflect this weekend about how much that really means. I just really think going into Easter, God, just how much you've done for us. We praise you and thank you for all you've done. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, worship team. All right, we're going to head to small group time. Upperclassmen are going to stay here for a minute. So that's just juniors and seniors are going to stay here. Everybody else, we're going to head to small group time. If you're new here, not sure where to go, come talk to me. I'll send you to the right small group. I'll make sure you get plugged in with the right small group. Everybody head to small groups except for juniors and seniors. Upperclassmen, come sit in the front 2 rows. Hello.
Yes,
This is true.
I'm Lisa.
We're going to solve that.
Alice? Oh, and Eric.
I said we're going to
I
solve that.
remember you. You had the boy. You had Lucas and James. Luke and Paul. Wrong name.
Jacob Philip.
Good. Glad you're here. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We have a question.
If you're not a junior or
Yes.
senior,
We need to find 8th grade girls
You're
in a
out.
small group.
8th grade girl.
So,
Okay. Let
Matthew,
me see if I
Jack,
can find where she went. Callie.
Josiah, Callie,
I need Callie.
all of you who are not juniors or seniors, you need to leave the room.
Can you find
Gabe, come up to the front if you're feeling up to it.
Lady right here. Do you know where they're at? Okay. Callie will help you, dear. Tell me your name again. Faith. Okay.
I'm Callie.
Sorry about that. Yes. Which group are you in? See, I'm filling in for senior girls, so we've started several years back, and we've done them all, and so yeah.
And what's your husband do?
He does 8th grade boys right now. Yeah. We tried to coordinate together, but sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you have any kids here?
Ours are all grown and married.
Okay, yeah. Oh, and married.
Yeah, married. We got we got a granddaughter that will be showing us here. Actually, we got 3 of
You
them.
hear that, guy?
We got a granddaughter showing up before too long. So yeah, our son's getting ready to go overseas. So his wife and 3 kids are coming up, and they're going to stay with us.
Oh, let's see.
So yeah,
We
that they even want to be around.
exciting.
Yeah. For sure.
Can we just stay here?
I'm in the middle of that thing.
You were live streamed. It was a great story. No, you were safe.
Cameron, you're going to have to edit.
Camera's way up here, so just cover it.
Well, I'm glad you guys here. Are you checking it out?
Yeah.
Sarah, you look so fancy. What's the occasion?
Hi, Steph. You know, that's the problem. There is no occasion. I realized today that I'm going to be missing 2 proms in a row because of stupid COVID. And now I have this dress that I'm never going to be able to wear. So I was just like, I'm just going to put it on. What about you? You look amazing.
Thank you. Honestly, same. I really wanted to wear my dress somewhere this year. I just wish somebody would put on a prom for us.
Or a prom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Me too, right?
A prom.
Wait a minute. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I might be. We might be thinking the same thing.
We might be.
Okay. You want to say it on 3? What we're
Let's
thinking?
say it on 3.
Okay, all right. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Marshmallows! Okay. No. That wasn't right. Let's try the second idea that we had.
Okay. Second thing. Okay, try that again. All right, ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Lifeboard Prom 2021! All right, it's happening. The rumors are true. It's all happening.
We feel for you guys. You guys deserve this. So we're gonna do this for you. We want you guys to say it May 1st. It's gonna be here in the auditorium.
Right here.
7 p.m. There's gonna be an after prom party. So yeah.
Yeah, after party, movie, food. It's gonna be awesome, guys. Hope you come be a part of it.
More details to come.
Yeah, more
but
details
put
to
it in
come.
the calendars.
Yep. All right.
All right.
Thrift shopping. Go, ladies, go.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Wait, Sarah, you guys get a photo of yourself?
No.
Oh, we get a photo together.
Oh gosh. All right, senior year prom dress.
What'd you say? Are there any questions? That's a dangerous game. We have 3 max. 1. Technically you can, but we think it would be cool if like you actually no. You know what? No. Dress code. You have to dress nice or you will not be accepted.
This is true.
This is like full on. This is like full on prom. Yes. Second question. What's the movie? 2BD. TV. 2BD also probably won't tell you until the night of anyways. Possibly Shrek. Okay, last question. Yes. The dress code is gonna be whatever pretty in line with high school. If you want to know what you can wear, check those out. The dress code is going to be stricter than a public high school dress code. Probably, honestly, I think everyone should just wear onesies. That'd be the safest route. Then it's probably not. Boom, boom, boom. That's fair. Any other questions? I know I said there wouldn't be any more. Oh, shh. Sarah has an announcement.
I want you guys to just like a real get limos, make dinner,
Everything you guys take.
Go to Sacramento and take photos. Do all of it. The whole shebang. If you don't show us your photos from the Sacramento Capitol, you will not be accepted to our prom. Just kidding. That's a joke. Any other questions? Yes, Jacob. I'm scared. Dresses? Are guys allowed to wear dresses? No. Do you guys all know about Fancy Feast tonight? Are you going? Fancy Feast, Chipotle, Domino's. See you there. Oh, Isaac, I got you in a minute. This is your last opportunity to ask any questions about prom ever.
I have a question.
Yes, Noah. That's a great question. You can and are encouraged to bring somebody to prom, but they must be an upperclassman. Only upperclassmen at this event. Oh, is that a sad tragedy? Is this a tragedy? Is this a tragedy out here? Doesn't matter. Upperclassmen only, we are being 100% strict on that, and I'm very serious. But for real, like bring someone. For real. Just saying. Another question, Fiona. Can you bring more than one person? Yes. I mean, here's the thing. We will get back to you on that, Fiona. TBD. That's too many people may be a problem, but I don't think that's going to be a problem yet. Oh, also, in case you guys didn't look close enough, it is $35 and you do have to register. We don't have a register by date yet, but we will. And honestly, it probably will be in like 2 weeks or something. It's going to be pretty soon. So look into this and register. What? The event is in 1 month from right now. So we need to know about if you guys are going in probably the next 2 weeks, 3 max. I'll let you guys know. Including your friends. Yes, Bethany. Yeah. No. Strictly juniors and seniors only. No super seniors. Another question. Nope. No other questions.
I'm so glad you asked that question.
Yeah. Wow. Good call. I just wanted to make a joke, but I'm not going to because I'm on stage and I can't do that. Nothing. I was going to make a joke, but can't do that anymore. What? Yeah. I think that's it. For real, sign up, do it. I see it in your eyes. You guys are going to procrastinate. I see it. Don't do that. Don't procrastinate. If there aren't at least 20 signups by tonight, we're canceling it. Just kidding. April Fools.
You can't sign up yet because I haven't made the registration.
So it's being canceled, basically. We just put you in a corner.
I can send a text. I'll send a text from 9.
You going?
Which I know
You going?
blocked or ignored. But I'll send a text.
Don't worry, I'm going to call everybody
I'll
out.
send a text from there when it's up. Okay, sound good? Thank you.
Oh.
I do. I mean, I do, but it's not for you.
Hey, let's everybody give it up for James. Hey, James, you missed it. There's an upperclassman prom.
Will you go to prom with me, James?
Aww.
The answer is no because I graduated high school. And you're married. And I'm married. This is true.
That's a good point. No, that's a really good point. Yeah.
Don't bring somebody that's high school.
Yeah. Aww. I mean, that's all I got. Any more questions? Ask now or forever don't go to prom. Wait, what'd you say? I literally am not understanding your words. I'm sorry. Oh, no. Dress up. You gotta dress up. Dress up to dress in. Dress up to come in. Straight up. Yes, another question. Yes.
All right. We're having a small group time. 12 graders were joining. Marcus and these guys again.
That's what's up. Man. Fancy Feast. See you there. See you there. I said Fancy Feast. Okay, you're pointing back. That hurts. Have you seen that video of the kid? My heart. You poked my heart. Have you seen that? They were arguing about the weather. What? Heck yeah, me and you, Ben. What? Oh, I don't know. I'm just chilling. Don't ask me. Okay, go to small groups. Get out of here. See you. Goodbye.
You messed up too.
Oh my God. I need to stop talking.
Hi,
It's
how
just
are
like
you?
What are you
because
guys
there's
doing?
so
I'm my
many
neighbor,
things
you know.
What are you guys doing here?
We're just checking out to see what they're. We want to help and stuff.
Oh, okay. That's nice seeing
These
you.
are
Good to
Paul
see
Rudd's
you.
parents.
Oh, cool. Hi, guys. I'm Cameron.
This is Cam.
Hi, nice to
Cam.
meet you.
Cam
Alice.
is
Nice to
Pastor
meet
Chris's
you.
son, but also on staff, media director and
Healthy students.
LP
guy.
students, whatever
Okay.
we need for
Yeah.
him student-wise.
Who's doing Listen Post group? You.
Me and Tim. Tim
Okay.
is the other guy who leads it. Tim's not here tonight, but he's
Oh, okay.
Sarah, who was on stage, her husband.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Tim runs it most
Okay,
of the
we're
time.
getting it.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is, but so everybody's just in small group time now,
Okay.
and will be until we end. So small group time usually starts around 8ish.
Mhm.
Depends on how long we go. I was pretty short tonight. Sometimes I have a lot to say. But so yeah, we go small group time either from 8 or 8:15 until 9.
What do they discuss? Just what you said? or
Yeah,
just-
so I send questions out every week based on the sermon. And so we're encouraged to spend some time checking in, building relationships with the kids. Junior high guys usually play a game or two because